Hi, my name is Hamid. I'm an instructor at ASM Educational Center. Today I'm going to talk about Route 53 with failover policy. Okay, so let me tell you what we have so far here. We have two regions. One is called Northern Virginia, which is 10.0.0/16. Inside that one, we have a web server 1 and 2 on the public subnet and web server 3 right here. Okay. Then we have a Sydney region 192.168.0.0. We have web server 1 Sydney, web server 2 Sydney. Okay, we've created this in the last labs, so if you want to make sure you watch the last videos. Then inside here I create elastic load balance. That means I put web server 2 and 3 inside elastic load balance, and I put these guys also in elastic load balance. Okay, so when you go to elastic load balance, when I go here into my PowerPoint right here, you see that they have their own DNS name. So you're not given an IP address. That's most important. And also they have something called health check. Check the instant health by talking to us. So that's what we're going to do today. In the last video, we talked about the weighted policy. We talked about simple policy. Now I'm going to talk about failover policy route. Okay. So let's go back to our AWS console. Let me show what we have here. So I go here, I go to EC2. I'm at Northern Virginia right here. See that? Northern Virginia right here in the top corner. I have a bunch of servers running, web server 2 and 3 and 1. Okay, and then here, if you come on the right side, it's a load balancer. Basically, I create a load balancer, which comes out right now. It's called our Virginia Elastic Balance. Okay, and this has been done in the last video. All you have to do is say create load balancer. So you say create load balancer, you pick this one, then go to next, continue. You're going to give a name. Let's give a name like test. Then you pick the VPC. Again, I've done this before. Then go down and pick the subnet that you want to add. I add the public subnet and the other public subnet. Okay, I click next. Then I did this security thing, and then I went did all of this, all of that. I changed this. I said next. I add the VPC, all of that here. I add the web server 2 and 3. Then I add the tag. I didn't put a tag review, and I create that. So that's what I've done that. Okay, now so this is right here. Now look at here. When I look at this is the DNS. I highlight this, I copy that, right click, copy, and I go to web server right here in the tab. I press enter. So that's going to go between what? Web server 3 and 2. See, between web server 2 and 3. So this is load balancing for this guy, for the Virginia side. Okay. Now I did same thing. I did load balancing. I go back to Sydney. So let me go back to the Sydney. When I go back to here, okay. So right now I'm going to go to Sydney as it comes up right now. Then I go, this is my load balance right here. This is called Sydney load balance here. When I go down, I click instance. I have only one web server, which is web server 1 is. Okay. So if I go back to description, if I copy this, the DNS right here. All right. So let's copy that. I'm going to open new tab and I paste it here. That shows my Sydney web server. I have only one web server right here. I could have more than that, but I'll click one web server. Okay. So these shows my 2 elastic load balance. Okay. Now again, you and I, we don't memorize this long name. We don't memorize long name. So in order to do that, we have to resolve these to what? Fully qualified domain name. In order to do that, we have to use something called what? Route 53. So I'm going to go to Route 53. And I went and purchased domain. I showed you in the last class. It's called asmwebtest.click. So when I go to dashboard again, you have one hosted domain name. When you create that, by default, when you click here, you're going to see the two records. One is called name server. We covered this last video, and startup authority. Anytime you create new zone, you're going to get these guys. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a what? Record set. Now here, when you come to the right side, this is called naked domain ASM. I'm going to leave it like that. Then I'm going to say what alias. Now here, look at this. We have choice of what? Simple, weighted, latency, failover, all that good stuff. Last time I did simple, weighted. Now I'm going to do what? Failover. Okay. But before we do failover, I'm going to pick one of these as, let's get at my PowerPoint right now. In here we will create a domain name called this, and then I go to Route 53 and create area code with the failover as follows. The Virginia is going to be my primary web server, and the Sydney is going to be what? My what? Second web server, okay? Then I will create a health check with Virginia, which is primary. And in this case, if this goes down, the Sydney web server will come up. And also, I create a health check with alarm for if both goes down. I'm going to show all of this. So the goal is I want to do a what? Failover policy. Just know that Virginia is going to be primary and this is going to be what? Secondary. In order to do that, you have to have a health check. But look at this. I go back to here. I'm going to pick again. I'm going to pick this as Virginia. Now I'm going to select here as a what? Failover. Now when I do failover, I'm going to pick as primary. Then I have to evaluate what health check. So I'm going to say yes to here, yes to here. The last time like simple policy and also weighted, we didn't do this. Now look at this. If I want to do that, I have to have a what? Something. I don't have that in the check. So if I create that, you're going to get what? Error, because I need to have that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come out of this. And the left side, I'm going to see something called what? Health check. Okay? I'm going to go call it what? Health check. So here, we're going to create a health check for that. Now, the key here, I wrote down my notes. You want to use, I will create a health check for only Virginia. So, for only Virginia, elastic load balance, I need a health check. So again, I have my notes. This is the Virginia DNS. I'm going to copy this. This is the long DNS. So I copy this. Okay, because I need this later on. So I'm going to say create health check. I'll come back here. Let's call that Virginia Elastic ELB Health Check. That's the name you want to give. Now I'm going to monitor the endpoint of that. Then I have IPS. I'm going to domain name. I'm going to go here. Then I'm going to paste that DNS, that long DNS name here, and leave it everything default. Then I'm going to click advanced. Here we're going to do it. Let's do it fast, so it can be fast here. And then here I'm going to make it what? 2 seconds. I'm going to make it 2 seconds. All right. I'm sorry, 2 threshold. Okay. So then I'm going to go next. Then here I'm not going to clear alarm. So I'm going to create a health check with no alarm. Okay, so this comes up. This is one of the health check. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back again to health check again, which is right here. I'm going to create another health check. Now this one I'm going to say when the whole website is down. Okay, now here I'm going to say domain name. Now this one I'm going to give my what? My name, my things, which is called what? ASM. When the whole website is called ASM web test.click. So I'm going to copy this, copy, and paste it here. Okay, I'm going to put AD all that, advanced. I'm going to put it what? Fast, and I'm going to make this less than, let's say, 1 second. Okay, threshold for that. So what that means right here, the number of consecutive health check that endpoint must or fail to Route 50 to change the current state of a report from healthy to unhealthy on the vice versa. Okay, then I'm going to say next. Now this one, I'm going to click alarm. Here I can do new things, right? I can put a name, I can put email address, or I can use one of my existing. I already have one, so I'm going to pick that. You could say new things, give a name and give an IP address, or use the existing. I'm going to use existing and clear what? Health check. Okay, so I see that my health check is up running right now. So what I did, basically what I did, I just created a health check for this guy. Now I'm gonna go do the primary and what? secondary. So I'm going to go back to the what? DNS again, Route 53. Remember that? I go back to here, and then I go back to here. Again, these are the default what? Things we have. I'm going to create new air record. Create air record. Now here, I'm going to leave it naked website like that, and with alias. I'm going to highlight, I'm going to target it too as it comes up. You just have to wait. Okay, so it's coming right now. We have to be waiting. Let's just wait. Okay, I'm going to pick a Virginia. Now again, I'm going to pick what? Failover. Now look at this. It's going to be primary. Now here I'm going to do what? Health check and health check. You only do health check on the what? The primary one. Then here I'm going to pick which one? Virginia. Pick that. You gotta have that. So say create. So that's one record. Right here, air record right here. Now here when I go to the all the way right, you see this is primary. Now I'm going to do the same thing because remember we need a what? Failover. Say create record set. Again, it's going to be naked. I'm going to alias. Then I'm going to target. Now I'm going to select what? Sydney. I'm going to select Sydney. Then this one, I'm going to make it what? Again, failover. But here, I'm going to pick what? Secondary. That's the key part. You're going to pick what? Secondary. Now, I don't have to evaluate health check at all. I just leave it like this, okay? So, create. I create that. So, I have that, okay? Now, let's go test this. Make sure we can go to this. So, if I type in ASM web test.click, I should go back to Virginia. So, I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to say ASM test web test click. Okay, let's see if this comes up. Okay, see now look, life is good. This is web server 2. I up arrow. So this is pointed to my Elastic website, which is Virginia. Remember that? Virginia, it was this one. I'm gonna go back again to show you that right here. I go to EC2 right here. I go to Virginia, Northern Virginia. I'm at Northern Virginia. I'm EC2, I come all the way down, which is load balancer right here. Okay, let's see. And this is was my instance. I have two what? Web servers running, web server 2 and 3 right here. See that? They're both in server right here. Now I'll go back description. I'm gonna copy this again. Remember this was my long name. I copied this. And I'll go back to here and I paste that. That take me to what? Web server 2 and 3. 2 and what? 3. Okay, this is Virginia site. Again, we don't want to memorize this long name, so what we did, we create what? Air record right here. So when I press this enter, so that's the air record. Air record is right now. See, this is pointed to the Elastic website. How I did that, I went to Route 53 right here. Okay, let me refresh this again for you. I create what? 2 record, air record. Okay, one is what? Primary and one is what? Secondary. Okay, so life is good right now. Now, what do we want to do? We want to simulate a problem. What does that mean? Let's say this goes down. This goes down. That means my Elastic web server, Elastic load balancer goes down. Then eventually you're going to see that it points to this page. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to EC2. I'm going to create a problem. I'm going to go to Northern Virginia, which is right here. I'm going to click here, okay? Then I'm going to delete or not stop my website. I'm using web server 2 and 3, okay? So I'm going to go here, action, and I'm trying to trigger a problem. Now, before triggering a problem, let's go back to Route 53 again. Let's go back to health check. Let's see what's happening right there. So this one will refresh. Okay. So this is healthy right now. Don't worry about this one. This is healthy right now. So life is good right now. Okay. And this is healthy also right now. So both the whole website, everything's healthy. So life is what? Good. Okay. As you see, when I click this, the first one, I have what? Monitoring. I have alarms. See, I'm sorry, this one has no alarm because I didn't set that, but the whole website I put a what? An alarm right here. Okay, so right now the health check is, you see that it's healthy, life is good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the EC2. I'm going back to Northern Virginia right here. See Northern Virginia on the right side. I'm going back to running instance. What I'm going to do, I'm going to stop my what? I think it was 2 and 3, web server 2 and 3. So I'm going to go action and what? Kill it. Stop. Okay? So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to simulate a what? A failure. That means, let's look at the diagram. This is our what? Mains, primary. See, this is what? Virginia Elastic Load Balance. It's going to go down right now. Now eventually with health check, it's going to, these guys will kick in. This guy will come up. That's what that is. Okay, here. The health check the instant health by talking to each other. Right now they're talking to each other, okay? Again, instant monitor ELB can be what? In service or out of service, okay? So let's go back to here. Right now, let's go make sure it's pause. So right now is what? Stopping. If I click refresh, okay? So one of them stopped, the other one is also stopping. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the ASM right here. See, before was Virginia. Now this has to go what? See, good. It went to what? Sydney. That's what we want that. So that means everything is pushing to what? To what? Sydney web server. That's what I want to see that. Now if I go back to here, I go back to Route 53. Okay. Then I go to health check right here. Then I should see what? Refresh. It says what? Unhealthy. Okay. Now I go back to EC2. Go back to North Virginia. I go all the way down to load balancer right here. Okay. And then I see on the instance they're both what? Out of service. That's what I said. Why? Because I click. That means my load balance is not what? Working. It's not what? Working. Okay. So you see that from here, from ASM test, it goes through what? Web server 1. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to kill this too also. When I click this, when I kill this, I'm going to get what? Email comes to my mailbox. Okay. So when email comes to my what? Mailbox quickly. That's what's come to it because I set up the what? Alarm. So I'm going to go to EC2. I'm going to go to Sydney, which is right here. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to do here. I think I'm using only web server 1, one of them. I'm using this guy. I'm going to pause this. Stop. Yes. So I'm killing that too. Eventually the whole website goes what? Down. Then I go here to load balancer. Okay. When I come down here, if I click instance, see, out of service right now. The web server 1 is down. Now if I go back to the website right here, when I click refresh, see, website is down. So let's summarize. So what do we have? We have the elastic load balance between web server 2 and web server 3. Life was good. Life was good. These are primary. As soon as I kill this guy's Virginia site, it went to the what? Sydney 1. Now as soon as I kill this, everything's out of luck. And as soon as this get killed, I should get an email too. Okay. So let's go back and bring up everything, Bob. So I'm going to go back to EC2. I'm going to go back to Virginia right here. Then I go to EC2 as it comes up. I click EC2 Virginia, and I go back to here, and I bring these are stop. These are the web server 1 and 2 that we're using. I'm going to bring it up. Start. Okay. So I want to make sure life will be good back to the normal. Then I go back to Sydney. Where's Sydney? Sydney is right here. I'm going to go back to right here. This is stop. Web server 2. I'm sorry, web server 1 is stop. I'm going to action and what? Start. Okay. Then what we're going to do, we're going to test it. Make sure the website is up running. Okay. So it's going to take a few seconds. So let's go to ASM test. So let's see if it comes up. Not yet. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to Virginia right here, EC2. I'm writing Virginia. I want to make sure that my Elastic is working good. I'll go back to load balancer right here. Okay. Then I'll look at my instance, make sure they're both healthy. So this is insert, that's good. Okay. Now let's go back, try that ASM test, click. Voila. Oops, Sydney came faster. Still Sydney. So let's hopefully that will comes up. Okay. All right. So this is Sydney, and this is that one. Okay. So Virginia came back on. Okay. All right. ASM test. It says pickings from Sydney. There's no problem with that. It takes a little bit of time probably. All right. So we're back to the normal. Okay. Anyway, so let me summarize what I did here. Basically, we have a bunch of what? Web server 2 and 3. Then Elastic load balancer right here. Okay. Then we have what? These guys, web server 1 Sydney in another Elastic load balance. So this was what? Primary web server, and this is what? Secondary web server. Okay. Then I create a health check only for what? Virginia. Okay, you only do it from Virginia. How do you do that? You go back to what? Route 53. Let's go to Route 53 right here. You have to go to a health check and create what? Let me refresh. Eventually become healthy. We just have to pay. You created what? Health check right here for Virginia. Okay. Which you said, remember, you say create health check, you give a name, endpoint, you put domain name, you put the DNS of the Virginia here, all that good stuff. Okay. All right. You see, healthy right now. So it takes time. And then I see something for the whole website down. You create that too. Okay. Then I went to what? Route 53. You have to do this first. I went to hosted zone. I did here. And I created what? 2 records. I say create record set. I go back to here. I go back to here, and I pick what? One of these Elastic load balancer, right? Okay. And I change it to what? Failover. So one of them right here is what? Primary, and the other one is what? Secondary. Okay. All right. So that's it. So these both air records are. So that means instead of memorizing the whole domain name, we can do that. Again, go to other video. I've done the video on the simple weighted, and this is failover. Latest is very similar, and geolocation is the same thing. It's the same concept, but it's just pointing to the particular location. Again, if you have a question, comment, you can go to asmed.com right here. / if you put L as a Larry, that takes you to a landing page. Okay. Then we have a CompTIA courses, and the other courses. If you come all the way down, you see Amazon. If you go to Amazon classes, we have a bunch of format. We have a bootcamp, evening classes, and also on the blogs, we have a bunch of Amazon blogs for you guys if you need to watch it. We have Amazon blogs, Elastic load balancing, all that good stuff. Okay, how you start that. Again, if you have a comment, give us a call or phone number, or send us email through this contact. Thank you so much, and you have a good day. Bye-bye.